It's time for In This Very Ring. Here we go!
Let's go! This ain't the Fox fight, or this game can heat stink!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of In This Very Ring, right here live in Houston, Texas. I am your host, Ritz, and joining me as always, it's the mayor from Toasty Town himself, the one, the only, the man they call Butters. Butters, what's going on, man? We've got a fun one in store tonight.
Nothing much, brother, nothing much. Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight.
Oh, it should be. So, tonight's episode of In This Very Ring is brought to you by these guys right here. Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. Check him out on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, or his two locations at Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And our topic of conversation, which already is going to turn some heads, it is brought to you by BetUS. BetUS is the leading online sportsbook who's been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on anything if possible. Use that link right there for 125% sign-up bonus. WWE did not capitalize on WrestleMania 38 momentum for Raw and SmackDown. Agree, disagree. Normally, I throw it to my co-host to answer first. However, move that out of the way. Nothing fell apart. All right, cool. I didn't know what that cord was. It was in my way.
You take it on, brother. You take it on, brother, man, because I have a feeling you're going to let it fly.
When I originally came up with the poll question this morning, because you're not in the chat, like there's a chat with me and Frank and Ralph and Ryan as we put shows together throughout the week and whatnot. That's the chat we use just to communicate. Yep. Hey, the criteria is done, right? And we just talk, right? We become friends over the last year and a half. So I originally wrote everything out, and I said, okay, I don't have a poll, and I don't have a description. I'll come back to this later. And all I kept thinking about in my head was how Raw and SmackDown didn't really wow me. Right? You think back to WrestleMania, Raw after WrestleManias, and even SmackDown after WrestleManias over the past few years, and there's always been something to take away from it. Always something big moment, right? You know, whether it's the Dolph Ziggler cash-in, or it's Enzo and Cass debuting, or
Paige's debut,
and AJ's debut, Cesaro's return, right? You think about all these things, you know, and you said Paige's debut. And then I think of Monday Night Raw, and I think of Friday Night SmackDown. And I watched Raw start to finish, right? I think I might have walked away for 20 minutes to go shower, right?
Yeah.
But SmackDown, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to. I turned it on more towards the end of the night because I wanted to see the Roman bit. You know, I caught little glimpses here and there, but I wasn't like, oh my God. And the internet wasn't, oh my God, afterwards, right?
The internet was like, really?
And then I started writing out the description. And if you're on YouTube, you're able to see the description. I'm going to read off, and we'll touch on things as we go, but I want to read it off. And as I was writing it, I was like, wow, it wasn't as bad as I thought, right? So here we go. And mind you, this is not, when we write these descriptions, they're really not supposed to be full-on paragraphs that you can read and it tells a story throughout. These are designed in a certain way that works for the YouTube algorithm. So, Roman Reigns is a unified WWE Universal Champion following his clash with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes returns to Raw after 6 years and gives an impactful emotional promo. Shinsuke Nakamura confronts Roman Reigns on Smackdown. Raquel Gonzalez is now Raquel Rodriguez. Lacey Evans returns after being on maternity leave with a very real, powerful vignette. Roman Reigns teases that the Usos should try and unify the tag team titles. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss brawled during Happy Talk. Liv Morgan gains a victory over Sasha Banks days before her and Rhea Ripley attempt to take the women's tag team titles back from Banks and her tag team partner Naomi on Raw. Elias returned as Ezekiel. Veer Mahan finally made his debut. Bron Brekker recaptured the NXT Heavyweight Championship. MVP turned on Bobby Lashley. Queen Zelina turns on Carmella. Edge and Damian Priest pulled the curtain back on their alliance. And so I said that, and I went, this really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. If you look at these moments, and that's not even everything, right? We don't talk about, oh my God, what don't we talk about? We don't talk about Roman coming out and teasing things Monday night. We don't talk about, some of the matches that took place. We don't talk about Miz squashing Dominic just for Veer to come out and destroy the Mysterios.
Yeah.
We just mention his debut. And on paper, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. This is good. This is good. Right? And then you sit back and you think about it. And, like, I remember ending Raw on Monday going, meh. Right? Like, did I lose Butters? Did he freeze? Yeah, I lost Butters.
Yeah.
Kind of lost Butters. Sort of lost Butters. Maybe lost Butters. Either way, we're going to let him figure his stuff out over there, and I'm going to keep talking. All right, now you're back. Bitch. Now you're back. You're back. Whatever you don't screw with anything.
I didn't touch anything when it happened. I think my signal might have went in and out.
So me personally, I'm gonna have to agree to the poll when I watch the show start to finish. It never gives me that moment. Like Raw ends and you're kind of like, what?
No, I feel that Raw ending fell flat for me because why are you gonna have him come out with a big announcement only to say my big announcement is that I'm making a big announcement on Friday?
Exactly. And then on Friday you have Nakamura really not say anything. Roman give him the most awkward hug on the planet. And
Correct.
then the Usos kick his teeth down his throat.
Yeah. Like, is this what we got for Nakamura since Boogs is out?
I mean, I get it. You're kind of calling an audible, but that means to tell me that you didn't have... You might have had things planned and you're calling an audible, and I get that, right? Nobody saw Boogs blowing
but
his
then
quad.
And you also advertise Cody Rhodes on SmackDown and then call an audible and don't put him on SmackDown?
Oh, did they advertise Cody on SmackDown? I didn't see
that.
Yeah,
from my understanding, he was advertised for SmackDown.
All right, so in that, though, right, card is always subject to change.
Well, I know that, but still.
But advertise, like, Cody being on SmackDown wouldn't have changed my opinion of SmackDown at all.
No.
And honestly, after the way that promo hit hard, and we're going to break down the promo in just a little bit, after that promo hit hard, you didn't need to show up on SmackDown.
True.
It wasn't needed. Right? Before we get to you, Butters, we're going to go over to the comments. We got Pete Evans chiming in. Yo,
What's
fam.
up, Pete?
He disagrees with the poll. You guys can catch Pete every Thursday night on Birds of a Feather. Brian Daly from the Hockey Happy Hour. Fellas, what's good? He agrees to the poll. Both shows this week were meh. Kevin Dixon, what's up, fellas? What's up, buddy? Greg Milakovic, you find him on Wednesday, HD Wednesday night, and agree to disagree on Sundays. He also agrees to the poll. Phillies fan 2665 over there on YouTube. He agrees that, again, since the USA and Fox deals, Raw after WrestleMania is just another Raw. To be honest, I disagree with you on that.
It's a special night.
Kevin Dixon says, I think the only thing that wowed me was Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Phillies fan goes on to say, SmackDown at least had a couple call-ups. What we got on Raw was Ezekiel, Steve, Lucera. Sarah? I don't know. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I'm sorry. Roman should go for the Intercontinental belts and all other belts. No, we're not turning this into another Bobby Lashley. The Godfather himself, Tom Arnold. You can find him. Damn, he's on everywhere. Sundays, disagree. Monday morning quarterback, obviously, on Mondays. And HD Wednesday night, obviously, on Wednesdays. He says, what's up? He agrees to the poll and tells us to have a great show. Phillies fan goes on. I think he's talking about Cody. He said he probably had the dark match. I know Cody had the dark match on SmackDown. I mean, on Raw. I don't know about SmackDown. And then Brian Daly, Cody Rhodes promo was the highlight of the week. If you're talking WWE. Then we'll break that down more later. Butters, what do you got for me?
I got to agree to the poll. I really don't think they capitalized on their WrestleMania after Raw. It's always been a wow factor for me, seeing hard hitters and seeing people show up unannounced. You got the secret re-debuts or the returns or the debut from call-ups, and I just didn't get any of that. I didn't get that wow factor. I'm like, I felt it was meh. I agree. I don't think they capitalized on their momentum coming out of WrestleMania, which was great, but then it's like you just took a big slap to the face and just kind of Ric Flair flopped right on the ground.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of wish, we'd got some, some sort of surprise instead of just everybody going, hey, here's so-and-so coming.
Now you run it a different direction for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it on our recap show. I mean, our live reaction show on this past Sunday for WrestleMania Night 2. We talked about how Night 1 edged out Night 2 just a little bit because of the Cody Rhodes debut.
Yep.
Right? Or return, or however you want to word it, right? If you hold that to Monday, right? Does Night 1 still have the same energy and give Night 2 the excitement? Is WrestleMania, I guess what I'm saying is WrestleMania still the same overall show that we all watched and we were all excited for?
If you hold it against Monday Night Raw? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm confused now.
All right, so does Monday... All right, take Cody Rhodes, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes is the variable.
Yeah.
You take Cody Rhodes and you take him off WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't exist at all right now.
Okay.
Okay? For just a second, he doesn't exist at all. Is WrestleMania still a good show?
WrestleMania is still a good show. It would have meant Night 2 would have been better than Night 1.
Would you have had the same excitement going into Night 2?
More than likely, because you had the Stone Cold at the end of Night 1.
Okay. So now we're done with WrestleMania. Okay. Now, Monday Night Raw starts exactly how it did with the debut of Cody Rhodes.
That would have been great if we, if he didn't.
WrestleMania a better show.
Yes, because if Cody didn't show up on WrestleMania, but he secretly debuted on Monday Night Raw, Raw would have started to been a whole lot better, in my opinion.
All right, now I'll take this a step further. Raw doesn't start how it did this week. You don't see Cody till the very end of the show, and you have the same segment. Roman Reigns, middle of the ring. He starts talking. The lights go out. You hear wrestling has only one royal family. Kingdom by down straight, kicks up. Cody comes up out of the ground. He does his entrance, but instead he just stands there staring at Roman. It goes to black. Friday night, you get the Cody Rhodes promo that we got on Monday. To be interrupted, not by Seth, who comes down and shakes his hand, but by Roman, who stands at the top of the ramp, holding up both belts. Does that make the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania that much better?
Makes it a little bit better, yes, a whole lot better. You could have had something better with that. Because like you said, you got Cody coming out for the interruption, and everybody's like, oh my God, what is this? Tune into SmackDown to see. SmackDown happens. Like you said, Cody makes that promo on SmackDown instead. Roman comes out dangling the belts in front. Would have been a whole lot better.
I agree.
100%, a whole lot better. Even if, with some of these debuts and returns, and it would have made it a lot better.
I think your debut. So here's what fell flat for me on Raw and SmackDown from the WWE side. Okay. I think Ezekiel's debut fell flat. Okay. It's fucking Elias.
I was about to say, you just might as well come out and said, Elias, but with a different gimmick. I'm no longer
my intelligence.
Well, that and I'm no longer a drifter. I found my purpose. I found my place.
Yeah.
And it's here to wrestle or something like that. You could have done a whole lot better.
You should have run, instead of running Veer Mahan vignettes for the better part of 4 months, you could have been running these vignettes with Elias, finding his way, finding somewhere where he actually belongs. Right?
I'm no longer the drifter,
And give him a manager for a couple weeks or whatever have you, or however you want to portray it, somebody names him Ezekiel.
Now, here's the catch. What? I know this isn't happening, but what if this truly is Elias has like some sort of funky ass twin brother that we never knew about?
Greatest thing on the planet.
Just to fuck with people. They do this just to mess with people. Greatest
thing on the planet, without question.
But we all know, they're just trying to insult our intelligence, and that truly is Elias, but still, But like you said, you could have done a whole lot different than, hi, I'm Zeke. What's up?
You really could have. So, that fell flat for me.
The Veer Mahan destruction
sucked.
I mean, you're destroying the Mysterios. Everybody's done it.
And the other thing is, when Ray is trying to save Dominic, I don't know what the fuck's happening there, but it looks bad. It comes off as like Ray. It made Ray look so bad.
Veer looked
fine. Let me give the guy credit. Okay.
Hey, that modified camel clutch looked pretty badass to me.
Veer looked fine, and I think he's gonna do really well. But I don't think the Mysterios were the right place to put him.
He could have destroyed he either could have come out and destroyed enhancement talent, or he could have destroyed a different babyface to show off.
Destroyed Finn.
Yeah, but you got Austin Theory going after Finn right now.
I get it, but let Austin Theory do his thing, and then Veer comes out and destroys Finn.
I mean, you could have had him destroy KO for all we care.
Yeah.
And had Zeke do something else. That'd
be like if they changed Chavo Guerrero's race, gave him a goofy name like Kerwin White or something. Ezekiel is just weird. Why does it say OBJ here?
I don't see OBJ. Where are you seeing it? Are you? Let me look in the chat and see what it says.
I'm seeing right next to.
Oh, because it's saying he probably put an object in between the. Probably like put quotation marks saying Ezekiel's just weird, or
Of
He
course,
probably put
Frank would have to do something that would fuck it up.
he probably put emojis, and they're just not showing up on the screen.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens. Like if I send a text message with emojis, or the wife sends one, it just won't show up. It'll just show object. Like, we're dumb. See, he even said it's Siri's fault.
Yeah, fuck him.
Hell, Omos having a manager now. Is that truly? Is that going to help him though?
I think it's so. You put somebody like MVP with Omos because he needs someone to talk. Mm-hmm. Omos really, he's great in the ring. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Right. His character works if he doesn't open his mouth. Right. And MVP, Bobby Lashley going face like he did.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put somebody like MVP with Bobby Lashley.
True.
No baby face has a manager.
Brock did for a hot minute, but then again, that's just Brock.
But
it served its purpose with the turn.
But he wasn't a baby. On paper, he was not a baby face. He was a baby face only because the people didn't give a fuck about the other guy. Call a spade, man.
Fine, sir.
Right? I mean, because even now, Brock Lesnar, babyface. No Paul Heyman.
That's true.
Funny how that works.
Potential heel turn for Rhea Ripley.
I loved it. I love everything about it.
Because do we see that Rhea Ripley's tired of her partners failing her every chance they have at the titles and decide, you know what, screw this, I'm done. Granted, they have a title shot next week. Does that mean she just goes, screw this, I don't want to deal with it anymore, and walks out? Destroys Liv during the match? Or do we just see them overall win the titles?
You either get 1 and 2 or you get 3. 1 and 2 are going to happen together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's going to destroy Liv and walk the fuck out.
Yep.
Right? Or they're going to win. Okay? I don't think she's going to do it mid-match.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, because of the way the internet works, I see Liv in the ring against Sasha or Naomi. Take your pick. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay? And then out of nowhere, you just see Edge and Damian Priest.
See, that would be cool.
And Rhea walks and joins them.
Everybody's talking about this potential Rhea joining them, but who's to say because of her failures in the past it isn't Liv that decides she wants to change?
Because the route that they're taking this Edge and Damian Priest,
mm-hmm.
Liv is either bubbly, giddy, happy-go-lucky, or she's like Harley Quinn, Joker, psychotic. There's no in between. But the problem with this Edge and Damian Priest thing that they're doing is
Rhea fits better.
Rhea fits better because she looks pissed off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she can just sit there and stare and let Edge do all the talking.
Well, I just figured it'd be a swerve because everybody expects Rhea, and then all of a sudden you have Liv. Let's just say Liv destroys Rhea and joins the Edge faction. As more of a swerve that nobody sees coming.
I wouldn't hate it, but I just don't think it would fit as well.
Okay. I mean, like I said, it's just one of those things that it's like you hear the speculations on Rhea, but nobody expects Liv. But I kind of like your idea better of them showing up with Rhea joining them and leaving Liv mid-match. Sounds a whole lot better.
It does, and I think this would be the week to do it.
Yep. Because somehow, some way, she got a rematch for the titles, and I'm like, all right, so everybody's just, so we're just pulling an Oprah on rematches, huh? Because
Yeah.
Bron
Oh, yeah.
Brekker got one. Bron Brekker got one Monday Night Raw. So it's like, hey, everybody's getting Oprah'd. All right.
Raquel Gonzalez call-up fell flat for me.
Yeah, I don't think she should have done an interview. And this whole Los Lotharios thing is...
Stupid.
Yes. I mean, Kayla Braxton in the back, you're like, oh, cool. Who's Kayla going to interview? Oh, my God, they're doing an interview with a call-up. Like, come on, man.
I mean, I'm okay with it being the interview, but she really didn't say anything of note. Nothing of worth. Right? Yeah. She should have come out and essentially said, hey, it's cool and all. What Ronda and Charlotte have going on, that's great. That's awesome. But I want both those bitches to know. And say bitches. Okay? You're on Fox. Say it. I want both those bitches to know that whoever is holding the title, I'm coming for them. I'm going to let you guys do you. Boo-boos, you do you.
Yeah.
But believe me, when it's all said and done and you guys have squashed your beef, I'm next in line because I am a former NXT Women's Champion, a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. I'm one of the only few women to ever capture all the gold in NXT. So, with that being said, I have no problem beating both of you skanky bitches.
That'd be a good one.
And to Philly's fans' point here, the name change. Here, all right, everybody stop. I don't give a fuck what we call them. Okay? I've muted more chats than I participate in because all we want to do is bitch and moan that they changed the name. I don't give a fuck.
Raquel's name didn't bother me on the name change. It really didn't. You're just changing a last name to something closer.
I don't care if they called her the big tall lady.
Yeah, you would have. Yes, you would have. Don't you fucking lie.
No, I don't care.
You don't care about Mr. Ludwig Kaiser?
I don't give a fuck about that either.
I actually care that they broke up Imperium over this shit.
I don't fucking care about that either. Imperium was not the dominant force that they were in the UK.
This is true.
Imperium only worked if you had another faction to go up against them.
True.
Okay? And you didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
This is scary. 4/16/22.
That's next Saturday, bro, and I can tell you right now.
11:30. Hey, Ryan. Buddy. We're not on the air next week.
Yeah. Butters has to work.
We've only been saying it for like the last month that we're not going to be on the air.
That too. It's our post-WrestleMania vacation.
It's my break.
I wish it could be a great Saturday to take a break for me, but I got to work so I can have Easter off.
Which is fine. But I don't give a flying fuck about the name changes. Right?
But it actually, that match I went back and watched just to see what the hype was, and I laughed at Michael Cole because everybody is chanting Walter, and here he comes up with that bullshit of, hey, everybody's chanting Gunther, everybody's chanting. I was like, no, they're not, Cole. You're a fucking moron.
Now, I'm sure Cole is getting direction on that.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out of Michael Cole's mouth, I give him a lot of leeway with. Because we don't know what's being... Oh, fuck you, Brodo.
Brodo will forget by next week. Don't worry.
No, he won't. Because he even talked about this last night on my stream. you can catch me and Ralphie over on Twitch, almost all the time. He mentioned that he had something for us. And I don't know what it is.
It's Ritz in a bunny costume. That's what it is, isn't it?
No, it's Ryan in a bunny costume.
Ralphie!
It exists.
Oh, shit.
Well, conveniently, Don, since you won't be here on the 23rd, you can catch us in replays.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, Don, that's fine. I was able to use it as a plug.
Hey.
But, here's where I take that a step further, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't truly care about the name change because they're still them.
Yeah.
Walter's still Walter.
He's still slapping the chest off of everybody. Dear God.
Exactly. Fabian Archer is still going to be Fabian Archer. If anything, this is going to give him a way to branch out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Daly. It's not like you had anything better to do. Daly says, man, I tuned in for what Broda was going to do. You and I both know you had nothing better to do.
Right?
I don't mean that in a bad way, but like it's
11
o'clock on a Saturday night. The fuck else were you going to do?
Go out to a bar? Who knows?
It's Daly.
Yeah, that's true.
Jake, should I get the popcorn ready? For what? Could be at a strip club right now. No, you won't. Stop. One, because then our chat's going to go off the rails, and I'm not ready for that tonight.
Oh, God. Could you imagine him chatting it up in our chat at a strip club?
No, stop! Two, you and I both know that's expensive.
This is true.
I don't physically know that, but I've heard stories.
Same here. I've never been to one.
I have no desire. Like, I've got a phone. What?
Damn it, Don.
Yes, Don, we said strip club. I kind of like the Happy Corbin Madcap Moss thing. Like that breakdown.
Yeah. It was a long...
it's going to propel Madcap, if anything.
I kind of seen it coming with him winning the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he loses to McIntyre, so it's like, Madcap's getting the one-up.
Can I just say how excited I am that Lacey fucking Evans is back?
Yes. Yes, and yes.
Like, I'm just so happy she's back.
It's about time. We need that women's right to Charlotte's fucking face.
Not even just that, though, right? I love Lacey's story. And I love, like, you watch that promo back, and I've watched it a couple of times, and it's so emotional. She gets super emotional in it, right? She fights it back, but you can see how emotional she gets. And it's real. I love the realism behind it. It's just phenomenal to me. We're not doing a super long show tonight.
Real quick,
I've got some other things that I need to get done and get to bed in a reasonable time because I'm a youth advisor and my kids are insane and want to meet first thing in the morning.
Right.
So we're going to
real quick
into AEW.
1 second. One other thing, real quick. Your thoughts on the NXT match happening on Monday Night Raw instead of NXT? Real quick.
I don't really have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because here's how I look at it. Dolph Ziggler showed up on NXT to take the NXT title. Bron Brekker showed up on the big show, on the main show, on the flagship show the night after WrestleMania and said, "Fuck you, I want my title back," and took his title back. So who really upstaged who here?
Right? Okay.
It didn't bother me.
I mean, a big win over Walter on NXT, of course, and then, of course, now Daddy, I guess, is getting in on the storylines.
Weird.
I guess he's going to be suspended in a cage now.
First of all, no. Second of all, can we talk about how much Rick Steiner looks like? What was the guy's name? Joe Casey?
Oh, Joe Gacy?
Joe
Gacy?
They look a lot alike.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm just saying.
And what's even crazier is all you hear is, Breaker's real name, Bronson. You're like, what the fuck? Who's calling Bronson out? And then Daddy,
right?
like, oh shit, Daddy using that real name. Shit's about to go down.
He used his government name. It's like when I do karaoke, right? I do karaoke, and my buddy, he's my roommate. I love DJ Blackjack to death, right? He's done a lot of different music, a lot of different sounds for us here at HUD, and for us in this very ring. If you watch my streams, he did the music for intro and outro. It's the old In This Very Ring theme song.
Yep.
But there have been a couple times, like, he calls me Ritz. Awesome, cool. There have been a couple times he's like, and coming up next, Andy. And I don't move. One, because I'm not listening for Andy, so half the time I'm not paying attention.
Right.
Two, how the hell are we using our government names here? And then I walk up to him like, all right, Gerald.
Right, because
he's like, all right, I'm done.
I mean, everybody at the shop knows me as Butters.
Yep.
And even the name tag I have at the shop says Butters. So please, call me by that government name. I ain't going to answer.
I referred to you the other day as Butters. My finance director was asking how the show went, and he wanted to see our reaction to Pat McAfee. And he said, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's Butters." And he looked at me, and I was like, "Yes, from South Park." And he went, "Really?" And I was like, "I didn't name him." So he goes, "Oh, you guys are Ritz and Butters. Shut up."
You know what? And I think that's, just the world, the stars aligning. Like, let's put these two together, even though they had nicknames years before they ever met each other.
Yep.
That's the stars going, all right, let's do this, boys. All right, now we can transition to...
All right, so we're going to transition over to AEW, and our AEW recap is brought to you by Area Public Adjusting. If you have damage to your home or property, they may be able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Area Public Adjusting at 813-564-3364. They're licensed in 13 states, including Pennsylvania and Florida. Man, when I tell you how incredible the Young Bucks FTR match was.
I heard. I haven't been able to go back yet and watch it.
Only for them, in my opinion, to be outshined by Yuta and Moxley on Friday.
See, I didn't get to watch that one either, and I've just heard so much about both of those matches, and I'm like, ugh.
Like, it makes AEW, in my opinion, AEW did it smart. They said, we're not going to try to compete with WWE this week. They almost took a step back and they said, we're going to give WWE its time. It's their week. Every wrestling fan looks forward to it. Okay. We're still going to put on the same quality of matches that we do, and we're still going to tell our stories.
Yep.
But they decided to compete with each other.
Right.
Like, fuck. And then you had Samoa Joe make his in-ring debut against Matt Caster in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifier match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these were just incredible episodes of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage. I what do you think, though? So the Wheeler Yuta match ends, and William Regal and Daniel Bryan come down to the ring, and Yuta finally gets his handshake.
He gets that spot in the gang.
And then there's a picture floating around, and I didn't personally see it on what I was watching, but there's a picture floating around of Daniel Bryan putting the title around Yuta.
Mm-hmm.
Does Yuta join the Blackpool Combat Club? Is that what they're calling themselves?
I think from what my understanding is that he did join them from Rampage.
So is that how it is? He's officially with them? I mean, I've got the Rampage results here.
Yeah, from my understanding.
Yuta after the match was over, Yuta was inducted into Regal stable. Okay.
You know, that's a cool thing, don't get me wrong. That's a great thing, but it's one of those questions of, does AEW really need another faction? I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a better faction, in my opinion, starting off than some of the others. But yet again, do they really need another group?
You know my thoughts on the NFL. I mean AEW.
We can't go a week without saying that name.
You know my thoughts, right?
Yeah.
But this is one of those ones where I'm like, this is okay.
This one makes sense.
It doesn't just only make sense, right?
And that's why I said
it's putting some solidarity, and Jax and Chrome and so many people have brought it up and talked about it, borderline at nauseum, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's got friends. What's wrong with showing that you have your friends and having that strength in numbers? So when all hell breaks loose, you know who's got your back, right? And to a certain extent, I get that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, this is fine. It makes sense. To me, it's a good group to really start. But again, like you said, it's ad nauseum on group after group after group.
It doesn't bother me. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me.
And then I think next week's going to have title matches galore. Title matches every show, I think, is my understanding. Because we're getting here's a match, in my opinion, that's being overly used, however you want to say that word. The Texas Death Match. Do we really need another one in this short time of a span? Because I think we had one early in the year already.
Yeah, but look, who's in the Texas Death Match?
Adam Cole and Cowboy Shit.
I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me.
And that's on Rampage.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally okay for me.
Because Dynamite, we see the tag titles. Red Dragon versus Jurassic Express on Dynamite. And then as well on Friday, Battle of the Belts 2, Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose. So we're getting, You're
forgetting one big match.
What, this week or next week?
This week.
Okay, I must have missed something then.
Minoru Suzuki versus Samoa fucking Joe.
Wait, that happened?
It's happening on the 13th.
That's happening? Oh.
For the ROH World Television title.
Oh, whoa. So for the ROH World title, it's Joe versus Suzuki?
World Television title.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. Ooh, that's going to be a bomb match. That match is going to be great.
Here's how I look at it. AEW said, hey, WWE, you have your week. We're going to come fucking swinging next week.
Damn, dude. That's going to be great.
He's just going to be like,
I was about to say, that's going to be a match you can call a banger.
Absolutely.
I know that word's overly used here lately, but that match you're going to truly call a banger by the time it's done.
Mission Pro Wrestling had bangers only.
I know, but I'm just saying. A lot of
Which,
people
by
are claiming.
the way, shout out to them. The internet loved that show.
Really?
I haven't gone back and watched any of it, but like my Twitter feed on WrestleMania Saturday, and I meant to bring it up at WrestleMania, but I didn't. On WrestleMania Saturday was full of people talking about Mission Pro Wrestling.
Good, because that place is amazing.
And another big shout out, Kylan King had her first cage match today or yesterday.
Really?
Got busted open, and I'm pretty sure came out victorious. So big shout out to Kylan. Kylan and Rochelle have been on our podcast twice. They're both doing big things. I think Kylan is arguably the future, and I said it when we had her on the last time. I think she's the future of women's wrestling. She's going to be one of those pillars in the next few years.
Willow Nightingale just had a match on Rampage this week.
Yeah, we saw her. Not the last one, but the one before that, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
She's actually pretty good too.
I'm actually really excited to go to the next Mission Pro show. It'll be hot as shit, but I'm really excited to go to the next Mission Pro.
Summer's going to ramp up here soon in Texas, boys.
I'm not looking forward to it, man.
This weather's already can't tell whether it wants to be summer or winter right now.
So not ready for it.
I walked out of work one morning. It's cold as hell. I was like, "What the hell?" Woke up the next day. It's hot, and then leave work that same night. It's cold again. I said, "All right, Texas, I'm done with you."
Yeah, I can't keep up with this. This is not fun.
My sinuses and allergies cannot stand this weather right now.
Wardlow coming through and wrecking security.
It's fucking Wardlow. If he couldn't wreck security, I would hope to God.
only to have three security guards stop him from getting his hands on MJF and Shawn Spears.
Damn.
But
that's
you haven't watched and granted, I haven't finished it either. But you haven't watched the Bucks and FTR, so I really don't want to talk about it yet and potentially ruin it for you.
I mean, I know what happens.
But there's knowing and then there's watching.
Okay, I got you.
Right? Because I'm the same way. I knew what happened, but it's
watching it is what makes it even better.
Watching good. Here's what I love about wrestling. Watching good tag team wrestling might be my favorite thing about pro wrestling. Yeah, yes. I love a good one-on-one match. But when you can find four people that have phenomenal chemistry and can put on a clinic, there's nothing like it.
Yep.
It's truly nothing like it. Do you have anything else? I like I said, I don't want to be on too long. I've got to get.
No, I mean, I don't. I think everything was
stuff done before tomorrow morning.
I mean, we've pretty much knocked out everything for the week. Other than, maybe, hey, WrestleMania, we saw Vince McMahon in a match. Like, your thoughts on it being potentially his last match, kind of a good meaning behind it with it being Stone Cold's last match and then possibly Vince's last match in the same WrestleMania. I'm
totally okay with it. Like, and we talked about it so much that night and almost ad nauseum. I think Pat McAfee had the best WrestleMania weekend he could have ever had.
Oh, by far. I mean,
he spent all day Saturday. Well, so Friday night he calls WrestleMania Smackdown. He introduces the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure they were still seated at ringside. They didn't move. So he got a front row seat for all the Hall of Fame speeches. And take him out of the commentary chair, right? As soon as that headset comes off, right? As soon as he does this, holy shit, this feels so different. As soon as he takes the headset off, he's a fan.
Yeah.
Right? And he's now just watching. And he's sitting here watching people he grew up with. Grew up watching, be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Then the next night on WrestleMania, he gets to call the majority of that night because he would have called. Where's my WrestleMania 38? The Usos match. So he kicks off WrestleMania. The Drew McIntyre Happy Corbin match. The Charlotte Flair Stone Cold match. Well, not Charlotte Flair Stone. Charlotte Flair Ronda Rousey match. I'm reading. What do you want from me?
Yeah, you're good.
So he calls 3 of the bigger matches, right? And then on Sunday, he's got Knoxville Sami Zayn. I'm pretty sure he did the tag match. He didn't do Sheamus and Ridge Holland because he had to go get ready, right? And then he has a segment where it's arguably the 2 matches together puts him right at about 14 minutes. But that segment was about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
He got one of the longer segments of that night.
He got his WrestleMania moment.
He had a WrestleMania match with Pat McAfee. Arguably one of the better matches between the entire weekend. He called out Vince McMahon, had a match with Vince, did the job for Vince in potentially Vince's last match, shared the ring with Stone Cold, got stunnered and a beer bath. And so that, but to answer your question on Vince, right?
You know how symbolic, you know, it is.
Vince goes out. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time in the ring, even though you have the worst working punches on the planet.
I just, you know, like I said, I felt like it was great and symbolic of, you know, that, hey, Vince's last match goes out with a win, but he also goes out with a stunner.
Yep. Absolutely. Because that should be the last time we see him in a ring.
Really, truly should.
Right? Unless he's doing some announcement that is not necessarily story related. It's just an announcement. Right? That should be the last time we see Vince in the ring. Right?
I mean, that's all I got. I just wanted that one question.
Yeah, no, that's all I got too. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, short show tonight. Got a lot to do in relation to everything that I have going on tomorrow and then some behind-the-scenes HUD stuff. I'll be streaming tomorrow over on Twitch. Make sure you guys are following us. And don't forget, we do have that MLB ticket giveaway. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, over on Twitch, if you're a subscriber by April 13th, when Ralphie goes live on April 13th, so that's this Wednesday, okay, when he goes live, he will, at random draw, we'll put all the names, all the subscribers into a randomizer, and whoever wins, we're going to give away 2 tickets to a future MLB game. Okay? So we're HD Radio over there on Twitch. I'll be streaming tomorrow. Something tells me I'm going to stream for a very long time tomorrow. So come hang out with me tomorrow. We're going to play Fortnite. We're going to see who we can get on the show with us tomorrow. Have some fun. See what kind of chaos we can create. For Butters, I'm Rich. We want to thank Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy for sponsoring this podcast each and every single week. Bet US, Area Public Adjusting, All Campus, Alan Foy, Fan Up, Gleason's, Manscaped. We thank them all. We love them all. Guys, we're going to talk to you next week. No, we won't. 2 weeks from now. We're not on next week. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back right here within this very ring. Until then, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We out.